Hi, y'all. So I am here at FinCon 2024. This is in Atlanta, which is, this is my first FinCon, conveniently in Atlanta, so I've been driving in every day. Today is the third day, so it's a 4-day event, and today's Friday. I have been networking with quite a few people and asking them a few financial questions. So the people in this video are money nerds or financial coaches or just people who are very similar to myself, as well as probably a lot of y'all if you are super obsessed with finances. So if you find anybody in this video intriguing or you want to find out more about them, I will have them in my description box, how you can find them, their website, their Instagram, whatever it may be. But I hope y'all enjoy and bear with me because this is quite nerve-wracking. Like, there are people around me and I'm filming this, and also each time that I'm filming, there are tons of people around when I'm doing the one-on-one little interview. So very new to me and I'm getting used to it, so I'm a little bit awkward, but I'm trying my best. We are here with Corey Holmes. What is your worst financial mistake?
My biggest financial mistake was I invested $75,000 in Bitcoin mining machines, and I lost all of it. It wasn't because of the mining, it was because of the business I invested in.
Okay. So you invest in Bitcoin outside of that?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that doing well for you?
It has done very well, yeah.
Okay. Do you recommend it for people, or?
I recommend it for people who understand risk and volatility.
Got it.
And are comfortable with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And how much of your, if you don't mind me asking, how much of your portfolio is crypto?
Over 50%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been scared of it.
Yeah.
I have like $33 of crypto, and that's it.
No, I don't doubt being scared. I would say I've been investing for quite a while, and even still being in crypto, when it gets volatile, your heart pumps fast.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And okay, next question.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the financial win you are most proud of throughout your journey?
Biggest financial win, I would say, or best financial decision I made was I dropped out of university. I was going to get a business degree, and I dropped out a week before class started and used the $5,000 I had for that semester to start my first business. And that decision completely changed the trajectory of my life.
Wow. So taking a risk, basically.
Taking risks and investing in yourself.
Yeah. So it could be good or bad for depending on who you are. But for yours, it was a good decision.
It worked out. I think you're never going to go wrong by, if you believe in yourself and you invest in yourself, you're not going to go wrong.
Love it. Okay. Yeah. And what would you say is your top financial tip or financial advice for just a general person? Yeah,
I think that it's really the belief in yourself.
Okay.
I think if you look at the 3 traits of highly successful people, one of them is superiority complex, which is really having a belief that you can accomplish great things. So having that belief in yourself, taking those risks, is eventually it's going to work out.
Okay. Good. I love it. Yeah. So Corey actually has a really cool story, and he has a bit. Where can people find you, basically?
You can find me everywhere at Hey Corey Holmes.
Yes. Okay. So that's everywhere. Like, do you have a website?
TikTok, okay. Instagram, YouTube. I'm also on LinkedIn.
Okay. And what do you do?
I help people with their money. So I have a program called Money Blueprint, where I help people define their rich and meaningful life, and then the steps they need to take to achieve it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I love it.
Can we stand here for the interview?
Yeah. You want to wear the costume?
No.
You can if you want.
All
right. I am here with Jeremy Schneider. I'm actually a huge fan of Jeremy. He runs Personal Finance Club, but also Nectarine. So if you are interested in a fee-only advisor, I will have that link down below, and I will let you talk about it more in just a moment. But going to ask you a few questions. What would you say is your biggest financial mistake?
I have made so many financial mistakes, it's even hard to rank them, but if I have to pick one, I'll say one time my buddy came to me and said, hey, I've got this hot tip on this oil drilling opportunity. It's like all the signs point to there being oil. You put in a certain amount of money and you're going to get 20x back over the next 2 years. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's a 50-50, but a 20x return would be so cool. So I put $40,000 in. There was no oil. I lost all $40,000, and it was like, every gambling I've ever done in Vegas combined times 30, and I lost all that in one go. The thing I did that wasn't a mistake there was it's not like I had $40,000 in my name. I had probably $4 million at that time. And so this was like a 1% gamble, not a 50% gamble. And so I did take a measured approach to that. And so, okay, I wasn't going to bet the whole farm on this very speculative, risky oil drilling thing. I bet 1%. I would have rather had that there be oil and have it pay off, but I ended up with zero.
Yeah, interesting. Never heard of that mistake before, so very unique.
I make mistakes people haven't even heard of.
Yes. Okay, and on the other side of that, what would you say is your financial win that you are most proud of?
Most proud, I gotta say, I'm proud of little baby Jeremy, 22-year-old, who started an internet company instead of taking a job offer from Microsoft. I had no idea what I was doing. I think it was less confidence as it was just naivety, but I just was very persistent for years and years, and started at 22, and then at 34 I sold it for over $5 million, and so the risk that young Jeremy took eventually paid off after a lot of hard work.
Yeah. And throughout that time, I know I'm pretty familiar with your story, but throughout that time, weren't you like taking a low pay and like really working to build all of that up?
Yeah, it sounds sometimes glamorous to start a company, but my maximum take-home salary was $36,000 a year. I was driving a '99 Ford Explorer. I, was living in an apartment with roommates. There's 7 of us, so I was paying full-time employees, many of them 6 figures, like software engineers, but I was personally taking almost nothing so I could help grow the business. And then, one day we sold the company, and I met my share after taxes was about $2 million, but I went from borderline broke to being a multimillionaire with one refresh button on my bank website.
Yeah, insane. Basically overnight, but over a decade.
Yeah,
really.
it was a decade plus of work that culminated with a refresh button, which is unusual. Normally it's a much slower burn. You kind of see the compound growth happening over years, but for me it just happened with one sale.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, and then final question, what would you give as your top piece of financial advice or tip to the general public?
I think there's so much financial stuff out there. It's like Roth versus traditional, high yield, CD, dollar cost averaging, lump sum, but this really comes down to 2 things. Rule number 1 is to live below your means, spend less money than you make, and rule number 2 is to invest early and often. If you spend less money than you make and you invest the difference of what you're not spending, you will be magnificently wealthy. If you don't do that, if you're living beyond your means and you're not investing, it doesn't matter. All the other little fine-tuning stuff doesn't matter. You're going to stay broke.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, and I'm going to ask you further on this. What is your take on, or what do you suggest for people who are maybe heavy in debt and they want to start investing, but what do you think of the order of things? Should you pay off your debt first? Should you invest? I know this isn't financial advice, just want your opinion.
It's money advice, but not official financial advice. But I would almost always pay off all non-mortgage debt first. So if you have a mortgage, you can get rid of your mortgage by selling your home. But if you have credit cards, car loans, medical debt, student loans, trying to invest while you're in debt is like what I call running up a down escalator. You're trying to build wealth, but you're on a down escalator and you're going to exhaust yourself. So get off that escalator first, pay off all the debt, be really focused, just go nuts, live very frugally. And so the rules are live below your means, invest early and often. Debt, by definition, is living beyond your means. You've borrowed from your future earnings to live today, so you've lived beyond your means. You have to live below your means. Get rid of that debt first. Then, with all those debt payments you were making, start applying that into investing. You've eliminated risk. You're extremely wealthy. That's how rich people get rich.
Yeah, love it. Great advice.
Thank you.
So, where can people find you, and can you tell us more about Nectarine?
Sure. I do personal finance education mostly on Instagram at Personal Finance Club, and over the last 6 years of doing that, people would always ask me, hey, I want to talk to an expert, I want to get actual financial advice, and I never knew where to send them because the financial advice industry has a lot of advisors who push products to earn commissions, or they want to just manage all your money with very high minimums for a compounding annual fee. And I want a place where people could go, review advisors, see reviews, see their availability, and pay just a flat rate just for that. And that's what Nectarine is. It's just an advice-only financial advisor marketplace. You just pay for an hour or for a plan. There's no recurring fees. There's no assets under management. There's no commissions. There's no products. And when you talk to a financial advisor who isn't pushing you towards whatever they happen to sell, the advice becomes dramatically better and dramatically more, applicable to your situation rather than their incentives. So that's what Nectarine is.
And that will also be linked down below.
Oh yeah.
So.
Click the link.
Yes.
I'm actually much taller than Layla, but I've been doing this the whole time.
How tall are you?
She has heels. I'm 6'4". I'm an honest 6'4" too. On Tinder I'm 6'7". So.
Okay. I'm 4'10".
Wow,
so
that is.
maybe I'm over at 5 at this point.
Yeah,
but
you're solid 5.
Yeah, very tiny.
I'll go back.
So.
I'll back to some in frame.
Well, thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, we have Kelly. She is a YouTuber and she also creates quite a few courses. What would be your worst financial mistake?
So my worst financial mistake was getting my car repossessed. And I had the money in my account, but I was just not managing my money, not keeping track of things. And so I'd pay a little extra one month and then not pay for a few months. And I guess a few months turned into like 6 months. And one day I walked out to go to work and my car wasn't there.
Oh, no.
And it was repossessed.
Wow.
So, yeah.
When you got your car repossessed, what was your financial situation looking like at the time? Like, did you have a bunch of other debts or things to pay
I
for?
had student loans in default.
Okay.
And just living paycheck to paycheck, but that was pretty much it. Like
Wow.
not maxed out credit cards or anything. Like no credit cards, but just like, living paycheck to paycheck and just kind of like barely getting by.
Wow.
And I was single.
How did that repossession affect your finances after that?
It was a little bit of a wake up call.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I ended up getting it out of repossession, so I had to pay like an extra $1,000 and like tow fees and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, we're gonna start like working into budgeting, and then a couple of years later, I got really serious.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So on the other side of that, what would you say is the biggest financial win that you've achieved that you are most proud of?
I would say paying cash for both my dream car and my wedding.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we cash flowed a $30,000 wedding and paid cash for my dream car.
Love it. What's your dream car?
Just a Jeep Cherokee.
Okay.
So nothing too crazy,
Yeah.
but still like a lot nicer than what I was driving.
Yeah. Do you still drive that car now?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it back in 2017. 2017, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to save up the money for both of those?
I think probably the wedding was about 9 months.
Okay.
And then between my husband now and myself, we did a lot of like side hustles and hustling for it. And then the car was, we did like right after the wedding, we started just like putting all that aggression towards saving for the car. And that was probably about a year.
Okay, that's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Very exciting. Okay, final question. What would you give as your top financial tip or piece of advice to just general public?
I would say tracking your spending. Like,
That's mine.
getting into it, like getting in the habit of doing it every couple days, then it doesn't suck. Then it's not like, I hate this, takes an hour, and that way you can also like adjust throughout the month.
Yeah.
So if you waited till the end of the month, like, oh, too bad, I spent double on groceries. Oh well, do better next month. Like,
Yeah.
no, if you do it throughout the month, you can adjust and have like pantry challenges or whatever, and just make those adjustments.
Yeah, no, that's mine. That's what I always say is like my top tip, because if you don't know where your money's going, then you can create your budget all day long, but what does that mean at the end of the month?
Yeah, that and like multiple streams of income.
Yeah,
Don't rely
love
just
it.
on your day job. Get some side hustles. Get some extra income in.
Yes, and speaking of side hustles, you have a side hustle course.
Yeah.
So where can people find you and your courses?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Kelly Ann Smith, and then I also have a course, Dream River Profitable. And with that course, I just go through the basics of starting a side hustle. So if you want to become a virtual assistant, or become a coach, or start courses, or start on YouTube, and just how to set that business up and how to launch your first online business.
Love it. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
We are with Matt, and he has a YouTube channel, the Coast Fi Couple, right?
The Coast Fi Couple,
Okay.
It's available on all your podcast needs, and exactly. So we just branched out to YouTube recently.
Okay, awesome. What would you say is your worst financial mistake?
Ooh. So my worst financial mistake was blindly trusting a financial advisor. When my wife and I were young and had kids, we thought we would outsource it. And it ended up being a very predatory situation where they charged us a whole bunch of front load fees and put us in funds that we could have easily invested in ourselves with very minimal costs. And that was quite the hit. And it was honestly the catalyst for me becoming a financial nerd. I realized I couldn't trust anybody else, and I had to learn this myself.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you know about how much that cost you in, like, how much you ended up losing?
It was thousands, almost $10,000 worth of fees. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And now do you manage all of your investments on your own?
By myself.
Yeah. That's what I do, what I recommend for most people. So.
It's easier than you think. You just have to know the right people to talk to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. And on the other side of that, what would you say is the financial win that you are most proud of? You yourself, or you and your wife?
So just this past year, my wife and I realized that we were Coast-Fi.
Okay.
And
makes sense. Coast-Fi couple.
Coast-Fi couple, exactly. So for the audience maybe that doesn't know, what that means is we no longer have to invest in our retirement accounts in order to be okay at 60 when we're ready to retire. So the benefit of that is we can explore jobs that we love and like without the stress of having to make sure that we're always contributing to our retirement accounts. Okay. And that was a big win for us.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And do you have goals of reaching like full FI, fat FI, any of those?
Yeah, that was initially the plan. And then we realized that, we were still 10 years away from full financial independence or full retirement. And I didn't want to be stressed out that whole decade where my kids are young. So we did the math. We realized, hey, you know what? All we need to do now is just make enough to survive and cover our yearly expenses, and we're okay.
Yeah.
And so it's allowed me the chance to explore making my own YouTube channel and building our podcasts and partnering with companies that I really, really love and think they're going to go well. So, yeah.
That's great. Awesome. What is your top financial tip or financial advice?
So I would highly recommend automating and simplifying the way that you do your budgets. And I will do a plug because I personally use Cube Money. My wife and I have been using them since 2020, and it essentially is a tool that allows you and your partner to be on the same page with your money. And so it's tied to a debit card, and so at any moment I can pull up my app and tap my groceries cube, and it transfers that amount onto my debit card to spend in real time. So I'm not having to do retroactive categorization of my items at the end of the month, which was a nightmare. Like, we tried Excel spreadsheets, we've tried Tiller, we've tried YNAB. None of them were as functional as Cube. And that's what I would recommend, is making sure you control your expenses, because you can always find ways to earn more money. Yeah. But if you can control what you're making and what you're spending, that's really the best foundation I could offer.
Yeah, that's great. And is Cube an app and desktop? Is there a version on desktop?
Yeah, so it is desktop, but it's primarily just a phone app, Android and iPhone, and it comes paired with a debit card.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
So highly recommend it.
Awesome, love it. So check that out if you are interested. I know we talked about it, but where can we find you?
Yeah, so go to coastficouple.com. We're on YouTube and Spotify and all your other podcast providers. And maybe for your listeners, if they want to try Cube out for free, actually, we're at FinCon now, so we're offering a discount code. Just use the code COAST at checkout, and you'll get the premium or the family membership for free for 2 months.
Oh, awesome. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, cool. Well, there you go.
Well, there you go. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is Trina. So she is a business coach. And what would you say is your worst financial mistake?
My worst financial mistake is definitely in college. So like most people, I left college with a lot of debt, and I compounded that by using credit cards through college. And I graduated in 2009, which was already the financial crisis. And paying off that credit card debt after college on top of my student loan was definitely a huge mistake. Looking back, I would have found a way to either budget better or not use my credit card as much.
Got it.
Yes.
Can I ask how much total debt you had after graduating?
I think it was $45,000. It was a while ago now. Hard to remember exactly, but I know the college debt was like $25,000, and then I had $10,000 on top of it in credit card debt, which $10,000 at 19, 20 is a lot.
Yes.
I actually got served papers because I had credit card debt that I didn't even know that I had, because I wasn't tracking where I was spending. I was just using credit cards, and I was served papers at my work one day from a collection agency wanting money for a credit card that I didn't even know that I had. Yeah. So it did teach me to track my stuff and to pay attention and to always pay credit cards off as they come due.
Love it. And what would you say of all of your financial wins are you the most proud of?
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of reaching 1 million net worth. Wow. During the process of building my business, that was always my goal, was to reach the 1 million mark of net worth. Not just because it's a number, but it opens up investments that I wanted to take advantage of, and you're only allowed to take advantage of if you're an accredited investor, which that was the requirement for. So I'm proud of that. It took 8 years, and I made it happen.
That's really good. And may I ask how old you are?
38.
Wow, and you were past $1 million. So you're financially independent.
Yeah. Okay. And that's what I teach also. So that was my goal, was financial independence through business ownership. And now my goal is to help other business owners reach financial independence without wearing all the hats in their business. So the real way to make money and to make more money is to delegate things and have a team that helps you, because that allows you to get much more done much faster.
Yeah. What would you say is your top piece of financial advice to anybody?
To track your progress. So I use a personal financial statement. It's a budget and financial benchmarks all in one Google Doc that every month I go through and I track my spending as well as my investments all on one page, and I can actually easily see my progress. So it's easy to feel like we're not making progress because as the days go by, we're just kind of caught in the things we're doing. But when I look back 2 years ago on my financial statements, I can see that I was at like 700,000 net worth, as where now I'm at 1.3. So it doesn't feel like I've made a lot of progress, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers tell me I have made progress. And so it helps to motivate you and to keep you going on track by tracking stuff. So my biggest tip would be to track your progress.
Love that. Yeah, it's like the big picture.
Yes.
And you can, instead of looking at it like every single month or every single week type of thing, over time. Love that. Okay, Trina, where can people find you?
TrinaJulian.com. I have my own website where you can reach me via email or social media, but it will link you wherever you spend your time. My website will tell you how to find me there. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, hello everyone. Today we are with Beza. So first question would be, what has been your worst financial mistake?
Thank you, Leila, for this opportunity. My worst financial mistake was not using credit card properly. I've been abusing how to use credit cards. I've been using it for everything, but not paying off regularly. So that did affect my credit score and unable to find, other loans. And I came to know about how to pay off early and how to increase your credit score could help you manage properly your finances.
And now, are you credit card debt free?
Yes.
Okay. And how was it getting out of that, like changing your relationship with using credit cards? Do you still use credit cards?
I do still use credit card, and I make sure that I pay off my credit card every month. And I know how to handle credit card properly. Previously, I didn't know how to do it, to be honest. I just moved from the other country to United States, so I didn't know what to do with that. So now I learn about credit card and how to use it and how to improve your credit score. And how I have to be very organized and pay off my debt every month. So I use it every day, once in a while, but I make sure I pay off every month.
Got it. Get the points. Same. Okay, and on the other side of that, what would you say is your financial win that you are most proud of?
My first financial win is paying off all my credit card debts, my student loan, my car loan, close to almost $70,000 within 3 years.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yes.
How did you do that so quickly?
So I start using a budget and stick to it. And almost every week I check where I am, and me and my husband track our budget together, and we work overtime, extra income to pay off the debt faster. So we stick into it, and then we pay it off within 3 years.
That's amazing. Congrats.
Thank you.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
And what are your goals now that you are debt free? What are you working toward right now with your finances?
Right now, after we paid off our credit cards, consumer debts, we are now trying to pay off our mortgage debt faster.
Okay.
So the goal is to pay off within 10 years. So now almost 2.5 years left. So hopefully we'll pay off by December 2027. That's our second goal. And at the same time, we are increasing our wealth by contributing, maxing out our 401ks, and also contributing to Roth IRAs.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. And then final question, what is your number one piece of financial advice or financial tip that you would give to general population?
So I would say if you have a credit card, just make sure to pay off every month and don't use your credit card unless you need it, and try to live by budget. If you don't need to buy something, don't buy it just because you have a credit card, and just once you set up a budget, stick to it.
Yeah, great.
And also start investing early, especially if you are young. It's a big difference investing early versus, even 5 years later.
Yeah.
So I encourage that for
it
younger
really is
folks.
a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
The money at 20 is much more valuable than at 40.
You're
But,
right.
Yeah. Anytime you start is great, though.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your answers. So Beza is a financial wisdom coach. Can you tell everybody where to find you?
Okay, my website is financialwisdomcoach.com, and my YouTube channel is Beza Asrat CPA.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
No, we are with Erik from Learn to Fire. What would you say is your worst financial mistake?
Ooh, I've made a lot. Haven't we all? Worst financial mistake is probably not starting earlier. I remember learning about, in a high school math class, my teacher taught about compound interest and compound growth and encouraged us to open up a Roth IRA. And I was making money in high school and through college, and I just wanted to, but I didn't know how. And I didn't take the action to go find out how. And luckily I started investing early in my career, but if I would have started 5 or more years earlier, it would have been even more impactful.
Yeah. What age did you actually start?
When I graduated college, so I guess around when I was 22.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Better than most,
early.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's I look at the numbers now and I'm like, ooh, that could have been even more impactful.
Yeah. And did you have any debt or anything? Like, what were you starting from? Just
no, I was
about
very
it?
fortunate, no debt. So I was really kind of starting from zero. And when I started my career, then was hitting it hard there.
Love it.
So yeah.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the other side of that, what would you say is the financial win that you've experienced in your journey that you're most proud of?
Yeah, most proud of. So I'm a financial coach, and I was able actually to find out about the financial independence, retire early community, and really pursued that in a way that worked for me. And I was able to do that, leave my previous career that was fulfilling but definitely overwhelming.
Okay.
And it wasn't fitting my lifestyle of how I wanted to live. And so I was able to make that career change, retire early from that career, and now pursue financial coaching to really help other people do the same thing.
Love it. Did you, were you going after a specific type of FIRE or FI?
Not really. I kind of stumbled across it and then realized, oh, wow, I'm already at this level, Coast FI specifically.
Coast FI, got it.
And then I was able to have that FU money to be able to leave my job, take some time off, focus on myself, focus on my relationships.
Love it.
And make that change.
Love it. Okay. And so what were you doing before, or you were probably doing it at the same time, but what was your career, like your 9 to 5?
Yeah, I was in logistics, operations, supply chain, warehouse management.
Got it.
So it was very fun, very challenging, but I could never really unplug.
And now you're coaching full time.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. What is your number one piece of financial advice or top tip for the general public?
Yeah, definitely. Good question. I would just go educate yourself. Go look at all the resources, especially of everything that's available right now. You're already on this channel, so you're taking that first step of just going out there and familiarizing yourself. None of us are really taught about financial literacy or any of the options available to us in standard education, even through our families. Money's really considered taboo, right? So just go educate yourself and get more familiar talking about it. Talk about it with your friends, talk about it with your family, because money, and whether you like it or not, it's a huge part of our lives. And the more that you can educate yourself and become more comfortable, the better off you're going to be, and the more options you're going to have available to you.
Yeah, no, it's a great tip. I haven't heard that one yet, and I think that's very important because there's so many free resources too, so
definitely
might as well. Yeah, love it. Okay, so as I said, he is a financial coach, so can you talk about where people can find you and what you help them to accomplish?
Yeah, definitely. You can find me at Learn2Fire with the number 2, and I'm a financial coach. I'm just looking to help people with their financial situation situation, meet them where they're at. I specialize in helping them understand how FIRE may be an option for them because, I think everyone plans to retire at some point, and I'm very passionate about that. Doesn't have to be when you're 65 or 70. That can be when you're 64 or 55 or even in your 40s and 30s. So it's an option for everyone, and I just want to make sure you're aware of those options and what you can do to make intentional decisions to help get you there faster, or just make career changes, life changes along the way that work for you versus just following that standard path that society is telling you or that your family is telling you that you have to do.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
I am here with Ohan. He is a certified financial planner. What would you say is your worst financial mistake?
Worst financial mistake. Although I'm not big fan of picking and choosing stocks, but there is this one particular stock. I wish I bought it more because interesting enough, it made really good performance.
Yeah.
I wish I bought it more, but in general, like not going to debt, that will be the best decision for anyone. I did have some credit card debt, which now paid off.
What's the stock? What was the stock? Tesla?
That was that's interesting. Enough with this Chinese company, like Starbucks equivalent called Looking Coffee.
Okay.
Looking Coffee. It did really good. Right now I don't have any positions in them, but I wish I bought it a lot at the beginning.
So going along with that, what do you typically invest in? Like, what's your investing approach now?
So it is mainly index funds.
Yeah.
And recently I got introduced to real estate, so I'm still in exploration mode, but I'm very open to investing in real estate as well.
Got it. Physical real estate or like properties or REITs?
Physical real estate.
Okay, love it.
Yes.
Awesome. Good, love that.
With some creative way, like they call it subdivision 2 or even like hotel conversions. There is a niche for this. Investors convert hotels to residential like property. That's another thing I'm researching.
Yeah, love that. Okay. So on the other side of that, what would you say is the financial win in your life that you are most proud of?
Financial win that I started when I was working 9 to 5. I started my 401k as soon as possible and start contributing as much as I can. Later I realized I should have done it maybe more, but I'm glad I started early.
That's great. What did you do for your 9 to 5? Oh, you were a certified financial planner?
Yes. At one point I started as a teller, became a private banker.
Okay.
But yes, as of this moment, I'm certified financial planner.
Yeah, great. Okay. With your 401k, what else were you investing in at the time or even now?
Mainly will be low cost index funds or ETFs.
Were you also contributing to your Roth IRA and stuff, or?
Yes, I do have Roth IRA as well. That's another great thing. And also my 401k had an option like to do Roth and traditional. So I was trying to contribute to both.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Awesome. Love that.
Thank you.
What would you say is your top piece of financial advice or financial tip that you would give to a general person?
Although seems like everyone should know about this, but to live below your means. But again, in the meantime, enjoy the life.
Yeah.
Because in some cases, especially in this community, I love FinCon community very much, but there are people that I meet, they in many cases, they are not enjoying the life now, just only waiting for that point when they will become financially independent. I will remind you, just enjoy the life while you are saving for your future.
Yeah, love that.
Yes.
I agree. I think you should enjoy the journey, but you got to be prepared. So,
sounds
love
good.
it. Where can people find you?
The easiest way will be Ohan the Money Doctor.
Okay.
Ohan the Money
Love it.
Doctor on all platforms. And my webpage is ohanthemoneydoctor.com.
Love it. Ohan the Money Doctor.
OHAN the Money Doctor.
Love it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Leila.